This year has been one to remember for that of Damian Lillard. He is having a career season all across the board. He has a career high in points at nearly 30 a game, as well as assists at nearly 8 a game, while also pitching in 4 rebounds and a steal on some of the best shooting splits of his career, shooting 46% from the field, as well as 39% from 3, and around 88 to 89% from the free throw line, which translates to a true shooting percentage of 62%. So yeah, to summarize all that, Damian Lillard has been fucking insane. It is amazing how great Damian Lillard is playing, but it is so terrible that it is not translating to that many wins, as the Portland Trail Blazers are 25-31 and are not in the playoffs, as they are currently the 9th seed. This is a team that is amazing on offense because they do have some pieces, obviously Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, and even players like Hassan Whiteside and Carmelo Anthony have helped out that offense. But if we're being real here, the real problem with this team is defense. They do not have one single consistently great defender on this team. And don't get me wrong, Hassan Whiteside has had a career year when it comes to his blocks and everything. He's averaging nearly 3 blocks a game. He is a good rim protector, but rim protection is not all of defense. We all need to understand that, and I think we all do. And staying on the defensive side of the ball, that is obviously the main weakness of Damian Lillard. Though he is an amazing offensive player and can give you 30 points on any given night, let's just be honest here, he is still a part of the problem on the Portland Trail Blazers team. I highlighted how terrible they are on defense, and players like Carmelo Anthony and CJ McCollum do not help. The fact that they have one of the worst wing defenses and worst backcourt defenses in the league. But Damian Lillard is also one of the worst defenders in the NBA. He is a bad defender and at times can be a defensive liability, and one of the biggest problems of this team, other than the fact that they have Carmelo Anthony on their starting lineup, is the fact that Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum can't stop anybody. Their backcourt defense is horrendous. They are terrible, and Damian Lillard is not going to get off of the hook for that part of the Portland Trail Blazers deficiencies on the defensive side of the ball. But despite that, obviously his offensive production completely outweighs any type of defensive liability he could cause this team, because his offensive production has been elite. And with Damian Lillard having a career season and the Portland Trail Blazers not winning games, and it looks like they may not make the playoffs, I think it's about that time that we talk about Damian Lillard's future with this organization, and if Portland is the right place for Damian Lillard to spend the best production of his career in. And I understand that everybody likes it when players are loyal, but if we're being honest here, this is not a great team, but they have a great player. And being in this stacked and loaded Western Conference, I think that we can all agree that the Portland Trail Blazers have already peaked in the amount of success that they are going to see in this Damian Lillard CJ McCollum era. Though I understand that they are a really solid duo and one of the best backcourts in the NBA, that still does not deny the fact that the Western Conference Finals against Golden State last year was their best opportunity to get to an NBA Finals and potentially win an NBA championship, but we all know that was never going to happen. They are not on the level of a lot of teams that are in the West. And honestly, when you look at the future that the NBA is going towards, how long is it going to be for teams like the Pelicans to pass them up? How long is it going to be for teams like the Kings to pass them up if they ever figure out their shit down there? And then you have teams like the Golden State Warriors, who are taking their break this year with tanking and everything, but we all know they're going to be back next year with a healthy, loaded roster in Steph, Clay, and Draymond, and whoever else they want to add, which is a topic for another discussion. And hell, look at the Memphis Grizzlies. They currently have a better record than the Portland Trail Blazers, and if you had said that Ja Morant was going to be able to lead the Grizzlies to a better record than Dame was going to be able to lead the Trail Blazers coming into this season, I would have said that you were crazy. And honestly, at this point, even if the Trail Blazers make the playoffs, let's just be honest with ourselves. What are they going to do? They're not going to upset any top teams, because at best they're going to be like, what, the 8th or 7th seed? And if so, they're not winning a championship. I'm sorry. That's the harsh reality that the Trailblazers need to understand. Their ceiling was reached last year. And it honestly is just not worth it to keep paying Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, and all these players and have one of the higher payrolls in the NBA and to have it result into nothing. I mean, just for the best example of this, look at everything that Damian Lillard has been able to accomplish in the year of 2020. This guy has been a beast in the 22 games of this year. He's averaged 33 points, 9 assists, around 4 to 5 rebounds, as well as a steal, while shooting 48% from the field, 44% from 3, and around 89% from the free throw line. And you want to know what the Blazers' record in those 22 games are? 11-11. That is 500. This guy is going out there on a night-to-night basis over the past couple of months and giving you around 30 to 33 points, and they're barely winning. They're not even winning more than they're losing. They're winning at the exact same rate that they're losing. And that sucks, man. I do not like to see a player of Damian Lillard's caliber putting up great numbers and not equating to the amount of success that he should have. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be saying, oh, but he's their star. He's their franchise guy. Why would they trade him? Because instantly the tickets are going to go down. Their market is going to get worse and all this and that, blah, blah, blah. I know all the excuses that people will make. Well, guess what? If the Blazers just keep losing and they don't make the playoffs for the next couple of years, Dame's standing in the NBA is going to continue to diminish and diminish and diminish. And soon, we're going to be looking at him like all these other stars on these bad teams. We're going to be looking at him like a Devin Booker. We're going to be looking at him like a DeMarcus Cousins when he was in Sacramento. And I understand there may be differences in those players and Damian Lillard, especially considering the postseason success that Damian Lillard has in comparison to those players. I understand all of that, but at the end of the day, if you're not winning, we're not going to give a shit about you. The only reason that people have even talked about Damian Lillard this year is because he's putting up great numbers and they're winning just enough to where they're not one of the bottom feeders in the Western Conference. But once that starts to happen and teams in the West get better, I promise you, we will not be talking about Dame Dollar. We will not be talking about this guy and this team because they will not be relevant towards anything in the basketball world. So with all that being said, what is the only option? That is to trade Damian Lillard. Now, honestly, I'm not going to come up here with a whole bunch of trading scenarios, but I definitely think that teams that need a point guard or that guy to put them over the hump, they should be looking into how they can acquire Damian Lillard via trade, because we all know he has that max extension, and I think the perfect team would be the Utah Jazz. I think we all know that even though the Jazz are having a really solid season this year, they are missing that other guy that they could pair with Donovan Mitchell in the backcourt, that they can get consistently good to great point guard play, because let's be honest, they are one of the worst passing teams in the league. They have some solid passers, don't get me wrong, but they do not have a primary ball handler that can facilitate and score and get you efficient buckets. And I think that if the Jazz were able to pull off a trade for Damian Lillard, it would not only help their case as one of the better teams in the NBA and give them a bit more respect in conversations among the best teams in the Western Conference, but it would also help Damian Lillard to be put back into the conversation among the better players in the league. Because sure, we already know Dame's around that top 10 to 15 players in the league, but he's not going to get any higher on that list. He's only going to get lower, especially when these L's start to pile up in his column to the point that we're not even going to acknowledge him. But in conclusion, you guys, here's the harsh truth of Damian Lillard's future with the Portland Trail Blazers. It's the fact that he is putting up numbers and it is not amounting to that many wins. It's the fact that he's going out there on a night-to-night basis and having historic performances and losing. It's the fact that he could go out there and drop 50 against any team in the league and still catch an L. And with all that being said, do we really want to see that? Honestly, really, do we want to see Dame put up great numbers and lose? Because I don't want to see it. And I know he loves Portland and he wants to do his best to bring a championship to that city, but sometimes the reality just needs to be faced. And if you can't accept it, the league will move on without you and will leave you ringless. You don't want to be remembered like that, because Dame is too good for that kind of label to be stuck to his legacy. But that concludes this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified after each and every single video. Follow me on Instagram. I will be doing a $200 gift card giveaway to any follower on Instagram, so make sure you follow me on Instagram. All social media links are in the description box. It's your boy Young Mustard signing out. Peace.